Can I use temporary passport to apply for the diversity visa lottery? We know there is a requirement that you must have the passport in order to apply. When I mean the passport, this is some of the passport everybody knows. But there is something else called the temporary passport. Are you allowed to use temporary passport in the application for the diversity visa lottery? Is it yes or no? If yes, how do I get the temporary passport? If yes, what happens if I win? Will I go with a temporary passport, which is just like a piece of paper, and the US government to put a stamp on this piece of paper? What happens if I win while I use the temporary passport? How long does it take to process the temporary passport versus the real passport book? All those questions are very, very critical and very important when you are applying for the diversity visa lottery, and especially during the time of pandemic where we are having a problem on processing the passport. Because even here in the United States, it takes now the express takes 6 weeks to get this passport, and the normal way takes 8 to 10 weeks. Remember, it used to be express takes 1 to 2 days to get the passport. But because of the backlog and the pandemic, the express takes 6 weeks. Welcome everyone. This is Ernest Boniface Makulilo, EBM, talking to you from my home office here in Belton, Missouri, United States of America. Here is the headquarters of opportunities. We are talking about the diversity visa lottery, how you can apply and make a very successful application and increase your opportunities and chances for you to win. And once you win, to have more guarantee ways of getting the visa, not just winning and be denied the visa because you made some mistakes in the application of the diversity visa lottery. So before I continue, I want you to do two important things, two important favor. Number one, to subscribe to this particular channel and put the notification bell if you haven't done so, because I'm going to put 3 to 5 videos per day, especially during the application for the diversity visa lottery. Number two, make sure you take the link of this video, send it to your WhatsApp groups. Take this link, post on your Facebook. Take this link, share to emails of friends. Send it as a text message link. Do whatever it takes to share the information, because I know you'll be saving a lot of people who are not going to apply just because they don't have the passport or they do not know the procedures on how to apply and win the diversity visa lottery. So let's go back to the original part of the question. Are we allowed to use temporary passport? So before I go, whether we are allowed or not to be allowed, let me give let me differentiate, give the differences between the passport book and something called temporary passport. This is not, it's just a piece of paper, but usually temporary passport is in a piece of paper. Depending on the country where you are from, each country has what they call temporary passport, or some countries they call emergency passport. Temporary passport is a passport you are given by your country, most likely to travel to a neighboring country, to a nearby country. And the temporary passport, depending on the country to country, it can expire after 3 months, it can expire after 6 months, or a year. In East Africa, whether it's Tanzania, Kenya, Uganda, Rwanda, whatever, the temporary passport expires after 1 year. I do not know how long does it take to expire in West Africa, Southern Africa, or in the Philippines, or in Qatar, or whatever country it is. But it depends on country to country. But it will be a minimum of 90 days or 3 months to 1 year in most cases. So the temporary passport and the passport book are almost the same. Both are passports. Both are documents given by your government. Both you can use to travel. Both are international. The difference will be this passport book you can use to travel international to so many countries, even beyond the countries nearby your region. But this one you can only use to travel within your region. Is a temporary. you can use to travel. For instance, you are Kenyan or you're Tanzanian, you can use the temporary passport to go to Uganda. First of all, there is no need for the visa in those countries if you are from there. If you're from Ghana, you go to Cameroon, you have your own temporary passport or ECOWAS passport, temporary passport, you can be able to use that one. Or if you're from SADC, you can use that one. So the difference is you cannot use this one to travel from Uganda or from Tanzania to Canada, because where are they going to put the visa on this one? There is no place to put the visa. The visa must be stamped on the passport book. So that's one of the big difference. But this one is also an international passport. Being international, it means to go to another country. That is international, crossing your border. So traveling from Tanzania to Kenya or from Kenya to Rwanda, that is crossing the border. That is international travel. So don't assume that international travel means to go to Canada, to go to US, to go to Europe, to go to Australia, to go to New Zealand, to go to China, to go to Japan. No. International travel is any travel outside your country. So if you have the passport, temporary passport works to apply. It depends on country to country, but in most cases, a temporary passport, I can give the example for East Africa. I don't know about West Africa. Temporary passport is started with the TS, then there is number and letters or numbers depending on your country. If the temporary passport starts with the word TS, don't put TS as part of the number. That is just the word temporary passport. So just put the number. And the United States government doesn't know the difference when you give the number, passport number, whether this is a temporary or this is a temporary and this one is a passport book. There is no difference, because this one temporary can expire within a year, and you can have even 10 years passport like this one, but it can expire after 3 months because you have been using for a longer time. So expiration date doesn't show that this is a temporary passport. So you are allowed to use whether it's a temporary passport or a 10 years passport. Even 10 years is a temporary because after 10 years it's going to expire. This one is a temporary because after 1 year it's going to expire. But it is easier to get the temporary passport. In most cases, it takes maximum 2 days. Usually it's supposed to be given on the same day, but if it takes longer, it takes 2 business days to be given a temporary passport. And in most countries, you pay less than $10 to process the temporary passport. So make sure you have a temporary passport. Make sure you, as many applicants, you have the temporary passport. Make sure your spouse has a passport. If your spouse doesn't have the real passport, make sure your spouse get the temporary passport so that you can apply as a main applicant and your spouse can apply as a main applicant. For that purpose, you have 2 applications. You, as a main applicant married to person B, who is your spouse, is going also to apply as a main applicant married to you. Those are 2 applications. Those are 2 chances than just, oh, I'm a husband, let me apply alone. No, increase the chances by getting the passport for your spouse. And if you have a child who is at least 17 years old and above, and below under the age of 21, make sure that your child also has the passport to apply as a main applicant on his own or on her own. And even if your child is above the age of 21, encourage to go and get the passport. They can apply on their own as a main applicant. So make sure that you are covered, you have the temporary passport. So what happens if you win with the temporary passport? As I said, you cannot get this paper as a temporary passport to have the visa stamp on this paper. The passport is supposed to be this way when you, after winning, to get the visa stamp. So when you win, it's just like you have this passport, and if this passport expires, what happens? You go and apply the new passport book. You will get the new passport book, which will have different passport number. They are not transferring the information to another and give the same passport number. No. It's just like when your passport expires, you are given a brand new passport with the brand new passport number and different expiration date. So you'll go and get the new passport, and when you are going to fill the visa form, the Department of State form number 260, DS 260, when you are filling the immigrant visa form, you will fill the form with the new passport information. But when they ask you for the documents, you'll use the documents. You will send the old passport or the temporary passport and the new passport book you have to apply. So that is something you need to make sure that you understand. And when you go to the interview, you go with the temporary passport you use to apply, and go with also the passport book. Just the same as if your passport is expired, you use the new passport to fill the visa form, but when the documents are requested, you will send both passports, the one you used to apply and the passport after winning. So that is very, very important. And again, when you go to the interview, you do that way. But don't apply without a passport. Use a temporary passport. Applying without temporary passport or without any passport at all, you are going to win, you are going to be denied the visa. So don't do that mistake at all. You'll be surprised, you'll be going to be denied the visa. So, any question up to that particular moment? I believe you are now aware about the need to have a passport, and a special, even if it is a temporary passport for you and your spouse. Make sure you and your spouse, if you are married, your spouse must have the passport. If you have a girlfriend, boyfriend, encourage them to apply. Make sure that they have the passport. But don't say you are married. No, just encourage them also to apply. Maybe after winning, you can get married. But don't say you are married if you are not married when you are applying for the diversity visa lottery. So I believe that has been able to help you understanding or answering the questions about the temporary passport. Yes, you are allowed to use the temporary passport to apply for the diversity visa lottery. The only exception, if the temporary passport has the word TS, like most of the East African temporary passport, don't put the TS, put the number and the other letters which are from the word TS, which is an abbreviation for temporary passport. Put the numbers, or if there's numbers and the letters, put them there, put expiration date. If you win, you are going to get the passport book, which you will be able to use to fill the visa form, Department of State form number DS 260260 immigrant visa. So thank you so much, and all the best.